How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another video. So today let's talk about just how good hard clue scrolls are for GP per hour at the moment. Now before you click away, I know that clue scrolls are not everybody's cup of tea, and that's completely fine. I used to hate doing clue scrolls. I don't think I touched them since about 2010, but they're quickly becoming some of my favourite content. Pretty much every type of clue is pretty profitable right now. However, hard clues are extremely easy and fast to gather, so yeah, let's start getting into it. Subscribe. Alright, let's get into the gear setup. So I've got a range setup and a mage setup, but I'll start with range. So the armor I use is the Anima Core of Sliske. You don't want to be using anything that can degrade here, just because that costs you money, and I guess this will save you a bit. For the cape slot I use the Kiln Cape, but you can just use whichever cape fits best for you if you haven't got that. For the necklace slot I use the Demon Horn necklace. I've got the Bone Crusher in the inventory, so this just basically gives me unlimited prayer the entire time, so I can just keep using Soul Split. For the gloves I just use the Cinderbanes. The poison helps get a lot more kills per hour, which means that you get a lot more clues per hour, so that's always a good thing. I just use Pernix boots because they're the only boots for range that I actually own. You can again use pretty much whatever you want there. And finally, the weapons, I use my Ascension crossbows. One of them has Coroming 4 on it, so that just helps with ricochet and stuff, getting a few more kills here and there. So moving on to mage setup, for the armor I use the Subjugation armor. That's pretty much just because I have Scavenging 4 on it. I could move that over to the Anima Core of Sliske, which actually isn't a terrible idea, but I haven't done that yet, so that's always an option. Again, for the cape slot, I just use the Kiln Cape. And again, you can use pretty much whatever you want there if you don't have that. And for the weapon, I've just got my Nox Staff. That's the only magic weapon that I own. I'm not sure if a wand and orb actually might be quicker, but realistically they're pretty quick to kill anyway, so that shouldn't really be an issue. So I've just realised that I actually forgot to change the boots for this, but I would probably use the Blast Diffusion boots here, just because the Detonate is extremely good here as well. So alright, moving on to the range hotbar. I just noticed again that I don't know why there's two needle strikes, but that's whatever. So just ignore one of those. But essentially you just want to be making sure that you've got all your AoEs on there, and Death Swiftness is really good as well. But yeah, just pretty much copy that, besides the second needle strike, I suppose. That's not supposed to be there. And they should just die pretty quickly, so yeah. And for the mage hotbar, again, just pretty much make sure you've got Sunshine and Tsunami at the start, plus all your AoEs. Detonate here is extremely good as well. That will pretty much just kill everything around you when when you use that, so it's always a good one to have on there as well. Alright, so for the infantry itself, I pretty much just take overloads with me. The Enchanted Excalibur's there just in case I AFK a little bit too hard. Obviously I want to be taking the Oldat Coil. The Clue Scroll holder is literally just so that they go straight into there. That's why I bring that. The Dungeoneering Cape is super useful. That makes for banking and stuff really quite quick, and when you lose aggro you can just pretty much teleport out and walk straight back in. That's always good. The Bone Crusher, obviously, we're using the Demon Horns necklace, so that just pretty much gives infinite prayer. I'm not quite sure why I bring the Spring Cleaner. I'm not even sure if Hellhounds can drop any sort of salvage or anything, even if it's a rare drop table thing, but it's just something I always bring along with pretty much everything, so that's why that's there. Cannonballs are just for the Oldat Coil, obviously, and the Air Runes are just for if you're using Mage. If you're using range, then you don't have to bring those. Alright, so to get there using the Dungeoneering Cape, you just want to teleport to the Taverley Hellhound dungeon, which is number 9 on the teleport list. And once you've done that, you just want to enter the Resource dungeon. Now, a lot of the time, there's a lot of people that are doing this, so most of the time I just kind of hop over to like a German server or a French server or something, because those worlds are usually less full. However, with that being said, I got super lucky this time round and there was nobody here, so to set this up, you'll see that there's a torch in the west side of the room, and there's a stone sticking out sort of south of where I'm standing. So what you want to do is you want to stand on where those two would sort of interject with each other, and that's where you want to be placing the cannon and where you want to be standing. So the reason you want to stand on this particular square is that it is the most optimal space to stand, where everything will, or as many things will aggro onto you as possible. So once that's all down, pretty much just make sure you've got Soul Split on, keep the cannon filled, and just keep doing it until you've got your 25 clues. And it's pretty much as easy as that. So with both of these setups, me personally, I get about 25 hard clues doing this in kind of 45 minutes to an hour. Obviously it depends on RNG, but it's no more than an hour to get the 25. I'm sure there's probably an optimal way to get these. I've seen people have the cannon in a different place entirely, and I've seen a lot more hardcore kind of clue chasers and stuff getting many more clues in that time. So yeah, that's just the numbers that I personally have gotten. So when it comes to actually doing the hard clues, I'm pretty casual, so I do it kind of not as quickly as a lot of the hardcore clue chasers and stuff. But with that being said, I do have the Globetrotters outfit, which definitely speeds up hard clues by a ton. But a stack of 25 hard clues takes me kind of like an hour, hour and a half. It just depends on how much I'm going to sort of just chill out while I'm doing them. So for me personally, a stack of 25 hard clues takes, to gather and do, takes about 2 hours, 2.5 hours max. And in my experience with hard clues, the rewards, if you don't get lucky with any sort of broadcast or anything, you're probably averaging out about 1 mil per casket. That's about the average that I've had personally from the hard clues without any broadcasts, and it's also what I've seen from a lot of the more hardcore kind of clue chasers, that without broadcast you're looking at roughly 1 mil per casket. So for my personal numbers, this probably works out sort of between like 12 and 15 mil per hour without any broadcasts from hard clues, and that's including the time to gather them as well. Like I said, I'm not super efficient at gathering or doing the hard clues. I'm not sure which steps to swap and stuff, so the people that can definitely do this more efficiently, you're probably looking at about 20 mil per hour in just common loot. Now I wouldn't say there isn't any big ticket items from hard clues either. The two dies, there's the Barrow Die and the Shadow Die. The Barrow Die goes for about 150 mil, and I think the Shadow Die is about 800 or 850 mil at the moment as well. So if you were to get one of those, I mean, it would just shoot up the value per hour insane amounts. But just for the keepsake of trying to make sure that it's not like luck based, the common loot is still extremely good per hour. Alright, well I hope this video helped anybody decide whether or not they were actually going to go try and do some hard clues. So, thank you very much for watching. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, and I'll catch you in the next one.